the 9 barriers to great SEO and how to make your SEO work faster and easier than ever before. Now, this webinar is for beginners who are absolutely new to SEO, or it's those who have just started but kind of make excuses for themselves why they don't have enough, for example, time to do SEO, or other excuses that pop up why things get in the way of actually doing SEO properly. Or it could also be for the agency owner. If any of you are agencies, it's a great tool to basically, if you're speaking with clients, you can come up and kind of some of these objections the clients will say when you're trying to sell them SEO or do more SEO, and then you can just tell them, hey, this is the answer, this is the solution. So it'll help with making more sales in terms of clients, and also with your own SEO when you think of certain excuses or you're stopping yourself from doing SEO. Well, we'll be covering a lot of these. So it's a really useful presentation in terms of lots of different things. And also I'll come into tying in Hike SEO and how some of these solutions can be solved with the new Hike on-site optimizer. So let's get started. So we'll basically go through the 9 different barriers to great SEO, the 9 main ones, and then we'll talk about some of the next steps that you can take. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So if you have any sort of questions as we go through, please pop them into the chat and I'll cover them at the end. So don't feel shy just putting any questions as we go, because I'll go through all of them anyways at the end. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing is limited budget. So some of the challenges might be, oh, we can't afford to pay an SEO agency, a freelancer, and staff. And this is a common problem, especially with smaller businesses who are, have a really small team, or maybe they're just solopreneurs and they don't have the budget or the cash flow to pay for these SEO agencies, or even hire a freelancer, or even have any staff. So it's a legitimate challenge when it comes to applying some of these SEO actions. Also, another thing is the SEO platforms are too expensive. Some of them asking, £100 plus per month. Some of them even more than that, depending on what features you're looking for. So again, that is a legitimate concern in terms of the limited budget. So the solution here is you don't really need to hire anyone. Instead, you need to get a platform that empowers you to do your own SEO. And that's where Hike SEO comes in, because it's an affordable all-in-one SEO platform for less than £50 a month. And if you go annually, it's actually less than 27 a month. And it's designed for beginners and small businesses in mind to take that control over and basically be empowered to do their own SEO. So you don't really need your own staff. If you have a huge site, if you have a really big site, lots of content, maybe you might need to get there, but in the beginning, no, you don't. So again, you can go, if any of you are brand new to Hike, you can go to this pricing page and check out the latest pricing there. Again, another challenge is we're prioritizing our marketing budget on other areas. And at the end of the day, as a business, you have your strategies, you have kind of your focuses of what you're putting your money to. And a big challenge in small businesses is you kind of forget about SEO altogether, especially in the beginning, especially if you don't know the benefits of it. And so you put all your marketing budget, let's say, towards some ads, and you blow it there. You only get a few clicks and kind of disappointed. Well, I think balancing, or at least putting some budget at least on SEO, is really important for the long term, because you can build that organic traffic steadily and it will bring return on investment over time. So the solution is even investing a tiny bit of SEO over a long time can yield fantastic return on investment. And that can even surpass other marketing or advertising activities, because once the traffic is flowing, it's technically free, because Google is for, free search engine, and anyone can search it, go to your site. So even for like Hike, for example, 27 pounds a month plus, let's say 30 minutes a day, can add up to huge results in 6 to 12 months. So yeah, again, this is the answer to another limited budget. Another challenge could be our business is too small for SEO to make a difference. Again, this is another myth that some businesses might, or excuse that they might make up from getting started. No business is too small. Like, even if you're brand new and you just bought your domain and setting up your brand, that's perfect time to start SEO, because you have to start from somewhere. You have to start doing your keyword research, getting your content created, tracking your keywords, all of that. You can start making a difference over time. So you have to start from somewhere, really. So even targeting like a really niche and low competition long tail keywords, that's what I would recommend for like brand new businesses or small businesses. This can start bringing in a steady flow of organic traffic to your site 24/7, 365 days a year. Obviously, if you're in a seasonal business, that might not apply, but in most businesses, on average, you're going to get traffic all year round. So again, Hike is designed for the small business owner, an absolute beginner, and it helps you find opportunities to improve your SEO right away in its action engine. It says, hey, we found this issue. This is why it's important to fix it, and this is how to fix it, and this is how long it's going to take you to do it. So it's very like practical and easy to use. So here's kind of example, if you haven't used it already, the action engine, you can see how many minutes it takes on average to implement that, and you can just scroll down and do that. So number 2 out of 9, lack of expertise. And this is, again, legitimate concern, because people, they hear of SEO, businesses, they think, oh, we should do SEO, but what is it and where do we actually start? We don't know where to actually start. Well, the solution is start with the very, very basics. So keyword research, get your keywords in order, find the ones that are low competition, highly relevant, have decent search volume, and then map those keywords to the pages that you already have on your site. And then if you don't have those pages, then create them, and then create valuable content around those topics. I'm just going to, I just realized, oh yeah, so there we go. So yeah, keyword research, keyword mapping, then create valuable content. Look for low difficulty, highly relevant keywords with decent search volume. That's the basics, and that's where you start from. And then from there, you can start doing some technical analysis and looking at, are there any issues on the site, and fixing that. So Hike SEO has a very simple user interface, and it logically guides you through the SEO basics step by step. And it starts with an excellent keyword research tool, allows you to discover valuable and easy to rank for keywords in your industry in minutes. So, and it gives you like suggestions and kind of coaches you along the way. So it's perfect for beginners in that sense. But here's a quick screenshot to show you like how that looks like. It even has an AI kind of engine that suggests keyword based on your industry. And also when it comes to the keyword mapping, it kind of suggests, sees whether the keywords that you've mapped to page fits or not, and all of that. So another challenge in the lack of expertise is SEO is too complicated for us. Again, kind of a different angle, but a lot of small businesses might say this. And yes, SEO is a complex subject, but only when you go really, really deep and wide on it. But the basics are actually really simple, like I just mentioned. So focus on the basics and you will get results over time. It's all about consistent efforts and patience. Small business might expect results in a few weeks, but that might not be realistic. It might take usually 3 to 6 months of consistent efforts when applying SEO to actually start seeing more traffic, higher rankings, etc. So Hike, again, guides beginners through the process with helpful prompts and offers educational articles, videos, and helpful guides to make SEO simple, even for absolute beginners. So, there's no technical jargon, and if there is some terms, it will explain, what actually that means, especially for small business owners who might not know what those terms are. So here we go in the keyword mapping section. If you hover over the review, it'll actually tell you in plain English why Hike thinks that some of those keywords might not be the best fit for that specific page. So it's quite intelligent in that sense. Time constraints is the third challenge, the third blocker. And something small businesses might say is we're too busy with day-to-day operations. And again, I don't blame them for it. I mean, starting any startup is going to be extremely tough and time intensive, often working, early mornings to late at night, 6 to 7 days a week. And just doing the basics like, taking care of customers, trying to get more sales in, things like that. And SEO is probably the last of their worries when it comes to their day-to-day. But that can also be a fallacy because without investing in your SEO, you'll never actually be able to build that organic traffic over time. And that could lead to recurring business, leads, and sales that can grow your business and help you kind of bootstrap yourself to bigger team, bigger office, more clients, more budget for SEO, things like that. So yeah, it's really important to even set aside 30 minutes a day to work on your business SEO and commit to at least a year. And that's, if you really add it up, 52 weeks in a year, five business days, that's about 26 hours a year. It's not that much. I think any business, even if they're extremely business, can squeeze 15 to 20 minutes and doing some basic SEO. So Hike makes it easy to budget your time into what you have available, to check off important SEO priorities so you can see that you're making progress every day. For example, in the action section, you'll see this little bar at the top, and based on the time that you have available that you tell Hike, you'll say, hey, you're on track or you're off track in terms of how many actions that you've checked off in your list. So it kind of holds you accountable in that sense. And you see that bar and you're like, I really should do some of those SEO actions today and fit them in. Now, the great thing is Hike's new on-site optimizer actually makes it super easy, more than any time, to implement your SEO. And you can do it right within Hike, and saves you time so that you can reinvest that saved time into doing a bit more SEO. So instead of doing 30 minutes of SEO work, you can do that same 30 minutes in, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes and do 10 minutes extra on something else. And so let's say you needed to fix a H1 tag on a page. Well, you can just go into the on-site optimizer, click it, retype it, fix it, done, publish, finished, instead of having to go into your CMS, click around, find that, edit in there. So it's a lot faster. Another challenge is SEO takes too much time to see results. Well, I mean, this is a relative one. Too much time, it might be quite fast for some businesses, might feel quite slow for others. It's not really true, because just by implementing a few actions, even like some really significant ones, you can start seeing SEO results, even like tiny ones, in just a few weeks. However, typically for like larger results and ones that you can really see a good trend going on, I would give it 3 to 6 months. In SEO world, that's a good amount of time. And in the kind of grand scheme of your business, that's a short amount of time, because you're in it for the long haul. You want to build a sustainable business over many, many years or decades or longer. So focus on the process. This is my advice, and the rest will take care of itself. So focus on your day-to-day, putting in 15 to 30 minutes at least into your SEO work, and just keep doing that and enjoy the process. And in no time, you'll look back, time will fly. 3 to 6 months down the line, you'll be looking at your Google Analytics, and you'll see, oh wow, look at that trend, the upward trend of traffic. This is great. And you start noticing more inquiries in your business, more leads, more sales. So it'll pay off in that sense. Another challenge is we'll get to SEO when things slow down. So similar to the other one, but it's kind of like another excuse to say, you know what, when I actually have time, I'll do some SEO. But the truth is things will never really slow down in any business. You'll just have different things to do. So you'll need to prioritize SEO, even if you want to make time for it, if you want to invest into it. So even if you have like fixed schedule, okay, wake up 30 minutes earlier, start work 30 minutes earlier, and then use that 30 minutes that you claim back, invest that time into your SEO. All right, number 4 of 9, high competition. So we can't compete with the big players. Okay, so this is almost a bit black and white thinking and saying, oh, I'm a small business. Like, let's say I'm a small computer farm and I'm like, oh, I can't compete with Apple or Dell or any of these big ones. Okay, but that's kind of a bit unrealistic. So we have to look at it like this. You don't need to compete with the big players. You simply need to focus on ranking higher than the next largest competitor in your industry. So look at the ones that are really close to your size and see where you can overcome them in the search engine results, rather than saying, oh, I need to, beat Apple or any of these bigger firms that might be in your industry, for example. So think staircase. So staircasing up bit by bit from one competitor to the next until you reach, high level, and not like a wall. Don't try to jump the wall in one go. Think small step, one by one. That's what I would recommend. So Hike actually allows you to add competitors within the platform to assess what you're up against and then identify smaller competitors that you can realistically compete with in organic search. So it gives you almost like a landscape that you can view and say, all right, what's the easiest way through this? What path should I take so that's not the most difficult journey? And then go through that. And all the paths will eventually lead to great SEO, but you don't want to just go straight up the mountain. You might go just around, and there might be an easier way to do it. So here's a quick screenshot of the competitor analysis section, and you can compare different competitors, look at how it compares to your site. For example, how many rankings they have, keywords, backlinks, and look at their historic numbers as well. So it gives you a good indication as where you are, and then what's your next biggest competitor that you need to start overcoming, and what are their weak spots, and how can you create content that will be better than theirs, for example. Another challenge is the market is too saturated. We'll never be able to outrank our competitors. Again, this is kind of from an emotional point of view, because it feels a bit frustrating or almost overwhelming when you're just starting out and you don't have any keyword rankings or very little. And you think, oh, will I ever be able to get to that level? You will. It just takes time and effort. So there's always going to be gaps of opportunities in every single market, no matter how competitive. There's always opportunities there. So with any competitive market, focus on the long tail. So long tail keywords are like four plus words in length or more. Low difficulty keywords, so they might be very niche or might be quite long. They might have a few searches, but even just a few searches a month adds up if you have lots of these keywords. And that will help you start getting traction. And I would do competitor research to see what content your competitors are missing that you can create instead. So go to their sites, go to their blogs, look at what keywords are ranking, what pages are ranking, inspect those pages. See, okay, I don't have a blog article about this topic, but I could write one and I could add my experience to it on top of that, and maybe make it a bit longer and add some more value so that people would rather come to my site and read it than my competitors. This is kind of how you need to think about it, because there's always, always, always going to be opportunities. You just have to look for it. Another challenge is we don't have the backlinks or authority that our competitors have. Again, this is, something that focusing on the huge businesses rather than ones that are kind of on your level or just above. And again, if you're starting out, you might not have any backlinks. You might have very few backlinks or low domain authority, and that's okay because every single website in the world started from that. They just built up over time. So Rome wasn't built overnight. Start building your SEO, start building valuable content, and you will start accumulating backlinks and authority that'll boost your rankings over time and eventually compete with others in your industry and overcome them and grow even bigger. So it's just time and consistency. Now, the fifth hurdle is technical SEO challenges. And I can totally see why this is the case. There's a lot of businesses, a lot of business owners that might not be so technically adept, and that's okay. So we don't have the technical skills for SEO. Yeah, and the technical side of things is getting more and more complex with AI, with developments and all of this, and that's okay. But the good news is that most of the SEO that you do need to do, or the core stuff, doesn't require much technical skills. So focus on what you can do rather than saying, oh, I can't do all this stuff. And for that 1% or 2% that you can't do that should be done for better SEO, just hire a developer, just a small job, or just leave it for later, and when you do have the budget. So by using, let's say, a managed content management system like WordPress.com or Wix or Squarespace or even Shopify or anything similar like that, this already takes most of the technical aspects away because these companies already have a huge team of developers managing that platform in the background, optimizing it, making sure it's SEO friendly for their customers and all of that. So a lot of that you don't have to worry about, and then you just have to worry about the basics, like the content, the keyword research, the structure, things like that. However, if you have like a custom platform and you had to hire developers to build your site, you might need to get them involved here and there for a few things. But in most cases, like 99% of cases, you don't really need to have much technical skills for SEO. Another challenge is we can't afford a developer. And again, that kind of comes to my first point where it's like, oh, we can't afford to hire an SEO agency or staff or things. And that's totally okay because developers are quite expensive. Instead, use a platform, like I said, that guides you on how you can do SEO yourself, like step by step, and why it's important. And then focus on the aspects that you're most comfortable with. And for the ones that you don't, you might want to get some advice or speak with a developer and see, oh, is this actually this hard to do? Or maybe watch some YouTube tutorials and see how you do it. After trying a bit, you might be more comfortable with it. So again, for that 1% that may require a developer, just budget for it over time for the least overall cost. Hike acts like a virtual SEO coach, so it allows you to easily apply SEO recommendations with a few clicks, and also through their knowledgeable support. So this is a great thing about Hike is if you do have like a technical thing you don't understand, just message the support. They're very friendly, they're very helpful, and also they'll consult with the SEO experts and team to kind of get you the best answer for your situation. So here's a little like screenshot of the on-site optimizer, the action section within there. So for example, like there's multiple in this section that says multiple H1 headings detected. Then it'll tell you exactly what you need to do, why it's important, and how to do it. And then you can implement the changes right within Hike. You don't have to go into your CMS or anything. So it saves you a lot of time makes it super simple, and it kind of guides you through that process. Another challenge is our website platform doesn't support SEO well. And this is becoming less and less of a problem because a lot of these managed platforms, integrate great SEO already. But let's say if your website has been custom coded or it's an older kind of CMS platform, this might apply. But the solution is a lot of the SEO work actually comes down to quality content and relevant topics. However, if you do find there are too many technical limitations within your platform that you can't really overcome, or you always need to run towards your developer to fix, you might want to consider migrating to another platform that is, less technical. But again, that's a major business decision you need to make to see if that will save you that time and give you more kind of control over your website and your SEO. Number 6, content creation. So one challenge in this aspect is that we don't have enough time to create content, or we're not really good writers or good at writing certain types of content. I can see why people struggle with this. Not everyone is a naturally born writer or good with words. Others, again, are so busy that it takes time to write great content. So these are legitimate excuses and challenges. So the solution would be you can use AI tools to help create the initial content draft. So that can save quite a bit of time, and then spend like 10, 15, 20 minutes to edit and refine it. And this saves you a lot of time in the content creation process, even if you're not a good writer, because the AI already, is really decent these days to come up with like a natural sounding, flowing conversational tone, writing style, or whatever tone that you want it in. Another challenge is we don't know what to write about. And yes, this is the writer's block that every single writer might face at some point in their career, or anyone in that matter. So what you need to do is you come up with a list in the beginning, before you even do your research, keyword research. Come up with a list of products and services that you offer. Then ask yourself, what are the most common questions that customers would ask about these products or services? And then think about, okay, what topics within your industry could you write about? What different categories and subcategories of topics are there? Then, if you're not sure, research your competitors and see what content that they've created, and then strive to create something similar and even better and more valuable than theirs. And there's going to be endless topics. You'll never have writer's block again. You'll never know, you'll always know what to write about, because there'll be so many keywords and so many topics that you can cover that you'll have a list that will last you years to get through. So using Hike SEO, it basically suggests some content topics that you can start using as starting points for your keyword research and content creation. So you don't have to like rack your head to come up with ideas, because that's really straining. It takes a lot of energy. You just don't have time for that when you're like thinking of like 50 other things in your business. So here's kind of like a screenshot of that area, topic suggestions, and there's a lot of questions. So questions are really great topics to start with. And you can see all channels where people also ask in Google, or content ideas, or even popular videos on YouTube. And this will get your creative juices going to figure out what kind of content you want to create on your site. All right, challenge number 7, keeping up with algorithm changes. And this is a challenge that every SEO expert, every business in the world is struggling with. But it's a legitimate challenge. The technology is always developing. And common challenge might be it's too complicated to follow all of the SEO updates. There's just so many updates. It's next day Google says this, another day it updates and says that, etc. The solution is to find a source of information that you prefer from a source that you really like, and that distills the SEO updates and changes down into simple insights and actions so you understand it and can focus on applying it for maximum benefits. So you might already be subscribed to an SEO news source, or you come to Hike and read the latest blogs, or watch the latest videos, or go and join these webinars where we sometimes talk about the latest releases. So that's a great source of information as well. So it really depends on, what you're most comfortable with. If you already have a source, if you're looking for new ones, etc. But find something that's accessible, that kind of speaks at your level of technical knowledge, and then just keep up to date. You don't have to look at it often. Maybe every few weeks or every month, you might, read a few articles on the latest updates to see, in a nutshell, what's changed, what do I need to do to keep up with that. Now, Hike has a wealth of educational content, including monthly webinars, power hours, videos, Learn SEO articles, the SEO Academy, and live support. So you'll always be in the know, at least with the latest Google updates and best practices. And if you have any questions, you can always ask. Another challenge is our SEO efforts haven't paid off in the past. And this is a challenge. Let's say a small business, they go to an SEO expert, and that SEO expert might not be very experienced, or might not be doing it according to the best practices, and their SEO suffers, and they say, oh, SEO doesn't work. But they just tried this one, and they might have had bad luck in choosing the right person or the right software or whatever. So I would say, if you had bad experience in the past, or a client has had bad experience, just say, look, let's give it another go. You got to at least try it like 5-10 times, and give it adequate time and give it adequate effort to start seeing those results. Because it could be that they expected changes like that overnight, but that's not how SEO works. And maybe there was false promises, like there was a dodgy agency that said, oh, we will guarantee you SEO results in 1 month time, or something like that. But let's be honest, there's no guarantees in SEO. Yeah, there's a lot of good SEO providers, and there's a lot of shady ones. So that's why a lot of businesses have been burned in the past. So the solution here is don't give up. And the best way to empower yourself with SEO knowledge is make sure that basically learn about SEO, and use a software like Hike that empowers you to actually do it yourself, so you have the most control over your SEO results. And then give it time, give it some effort. And then if you've done everything under the sun and it still hasn't worked, and you've done it for a year and you've done every single day, then maybe speak to a few experts. But I guarantee you, if you really put in the time and effort and do follow best practices, you will get some results. I'm not saying how much, but you will get some results. Number 8, local SEO complexity. The challenge might be, managing local SEO listings is too time consuming. Like, okay, here's another listing I have to sign up for, I have to enter the business details, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I just don't have the time for that, etc. I can see why. But using a tool that actually suggests listing platforms and monitors them for consistency will actually save you a lot of time and headaches, instead of having to do everything manually. Some citation platforms actually submit it for you to like hundreds or thousands of directories automatically, and that will save you time as well. So Hike has a local citations tool. It suggests different citations and listings to submit to, and then it monitors these for inconsistencies, and it flags up any that require attention. For example, let's say you change your business phone number or your business address, or you adjust your business name. It will flag up if there's any discrepancies there, because it's really important that your name, address, and phone number consistent across the web for your local business. So here's like a screenshot of this, the correct citations, incorrect ones, and then the missing ones that Hike suggests. Obviously, there are a lot others out there that you can go to. Just do a quick Google search for like local directories, things like that. But these are the handpicked ones that we suggest starting with. So another challenge is we don't understand how to optimize for Google My Business or Google Business Profile. And that's okay because there's a lot of options in there and you just have to go step by step. But the solution, start with a keyword rich description of your business. Like talk about in if you had to describe your business in a paragraph with all the things that you do and what you're about and what industry you're in, just write that and make sure you include the main keywords. And that's a good start. Then you can make sure you add your location. If you're like a brick and mortar store, or if you're a mobile business, add your service areas. Make sure you fill out the FAQ section with common questions that customers that have, and then answer them on there. Add photos of your location or your products and services. Just fill out as much as you can, and then add to it and update it over time. And by doing that, you're going to have a much greater success in local searches, because Google likes it when you have your Google Business Profile all filled out and ready to go. So Hike actually allows you to directly integrate with Google Business Profile, and it gives you the ability to manage it directly within the platform, so you don't have to open a new tab or go there. It makes the whole process super simple, and also it guides you on how to optimize it to best practices. For example, in the description it'll say, okay, write this much and this is how you write it, etc. So it kind of guides you through that and allows you to see how complete that how complete the information is in there. So here's a quick screenshot. So you can add the profile picture, the cover photo, and it kind of gives you a preview how it looks in the Google SERPs. And then from there you can check it actually in Google once you've updated it. Another challenge might be we don't know how to target local keywords effectively. And this can be sometimes a tricky one for new businesses because they're trying to understand, oh, how do I do keyword research but do it for local? Do I use near me term, or what do I actually use? So the key to remember is this: if your business has a physical location or services customers in certain areas, let's say it's a plumber or electrician, then you can use those locations within keyword research to create location-specific content. For example, let's say you have a business in New York City, and let's say it's a pizza restaurant. This is very generic, but instead of just saying pizza restaurant, you might say New York pizza restaurant, or a pizza restaurant on this specific main street, or whatever, and then you can optimize your content around that. Now, barrier number 9 is analytics and tracking. So one of the challenges might be we don't know how to track our SEO performance. And again, this is something that's quite confusing for beginners, because they're like, what are all these numbers? What are all these graphs? I'm not sure about it. And that's okay. It takes time to kind of get up to speed with it and look at what numbers are important and see what it means and all of that. So the solution is to focus on the most important KPIs. So like keyword rankings, the number of clicks you get to your site from Google, and the organic traffic, like for example, the number of users on your site. Then you can use free tools such as Google Analytics version 4, Google Search Console, and these two will automatically track that data over time to start gaining insights that you can start seeing trends with, seeing any issues on there that you can fix, and all of that. Now, good news is in Hike SEO, it directly integrates with GA4 and GSC. And this actually allows you to visualize the data in a much more simpler and streamlined way, rather than having to get used to different interfaces, because Google changes that sometimes and the layout changes and whatnot. And Hike also tracks keyword rankings for you so that you can monitor search engine performance for multiple keywords over time. So here's a quick screenshot of how the keyword tracking works. So you have the keyword, the URL, the current ranking, and the rankings from previous days, weeks, months. and the search volume for that. So really easy to see over time. Another challenge might be, oh, we're not sure how to interpret the data we get. Again, that's okay because it's a lot of numbers going on. What's the significance of those numbers? What does it mean for your SEO? What does it mean for your business? A lot of these questions might come up. So the main task is to look at trends over time to see if there's a specific KPI, so a key performance indicator, if you're not sure what KPI means, has increased or decreased compared to the previous period. So you might look at, let's say, overall number of users on the website, and you'll see that, okay, this month we've had, 1,000 users on the site versus the previous month where we had 800. Oh, wow, it increased by 200. Okay, that's great. Or you might look at it over 90-day period. Oh, the last 3 months, we can see this trend line, going up. And then we compare it to the previous 3 months, which is a lot lower. Okay, great. Our SEO is working because we're getting more users to the site from Google. So that's how we use the analytics and tracking effectively. So it shows your return on investment and that your SEO efforts are working. Now in Hike SEO, it has a report builder tool. So it's a drag and drop visual analytics tool, allows you to easily spot trends in your SEO data. And when you see those trends, it gives you an insight as to whether to do something more or to do something less, see what's working, what's not working, what needs to be improved. And you can schedule these reports to be sent out on a regular basis so that you're always in the know of what is your SEO performance and how you can improve it and tweak it over time. So here's a quick screenshot of the report builder, and you can brand it however you want. This is great for agencies, and you can add your logo, colors, fonts, lay it out, drag and drop little widgets around. It's fantastic.